Hello, BookTube. I'm going to start this Friday Reads off a little different. This is the reading nook with a cat rug there. Various Star Trek ships. So an odd little room, but a getaway for me. And the reason I'm doing this is because I told Curtis Books and Movies that I would show him the Catan Star Trek collection. And if you're not seasick by now, that's it. So here are various parts for you folks that are into Catan. That's what the looks like when it's done. So there it is, Star Trek. Now for the more traditional part of Friday Reads. I got through quite a bit this week. I finished, and I've shown this before, Analog, Science Fiction and Fact, the July-August issue. I finished the Martin L. Shoemaker story. Let me get it for you here. It's Not Far Enough. It's a novella. I really enjoyed it. It's very much hard science fiction. It is about a disaster that strikes a crew during a Mars mission. It's a crew that, let me see here, I'll just give you their names. Carver, Ames, and Smith have previously appeared in the pages of Analog in Brigus Nucus Mais, which was March 2015, and Murder on the Aldrin Express, which is September 2013. I'll actually end up looking those up because I enjoyed the story that much. It's how they deal with the disaster, technology, a problem with some AI, and very well done. The pacing was great. There's a lot of suspense, but it didn't lose sight of the practical. What would you have to do? It shows how interrelated all the technologies are, and the littlest thing goes wrong on a space mission of that magnitude, just how devastating it could be. So a wonderful story. Martin L. Shoemaker, a novella in Analog, Science Fiction and Fact, the July-August 2017 issue. Then I finished the other day, out of this bruiser, I finished the first novel and the introduction. So I read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, and then I read Douglas Adams' Introduction, A Guide to the Guide. I did a review on it, so that was a good one to get under my belt. It's an important part of popular culture, and I'm glad I read it. And then I also did a review this week, and the first book I actually finished was Komar Lois McMaster Bujold. I really, really like this novel, and I really, really like this series. I've read off and on in the series, and I've read over a vast span of time, so I wouldn't mind going back and just working my way through all of them. It's published by Bean Books, and they have other series that I like. So get back to some more of these types of novels. Excellent novel. And as I've said before, here's the London Review of Books. The Times Literary Supplement, the London Review of Books, New York Review of Books, and New York Times Book Review, and then Library Journal. All these I work through in my work. I work through them, see what I need to purchase, what's going on in the literary world. And then this one here is, let's see here, volume 39, number 16, 17 August 2017. And the article that really stood out to me is John Lancaster. You Are the Product. It's Lanchester, excuse me. John Lanchester. You Are the Product. It's on page 3. And the books discussed are The Attention Merchants, from the daily newspaper to social media, How Our Time and Attention is Harvested and Sold, by Tim Wu. And another book discusses Chaos Monkeys, Inside the Silicon Valley Money Machine, by Antonio Garcia Martinez. And then the third one is Move Fast and Break Things, How Facebook, Google, and Amazon Have Cornered Culture and What It Means for All of Us, by Jonathan Taplin. So John Lanchester works through these ideas, and in the ideas, he frames them together with his own ideas. And it's a very sobering look, especially at Facebook. And well worth the read. I'm not going to detail his views here, but excellent enough for me to mention it. If you get a chance to take a look at it, I would recommend it. So that was John Lanchester, You Are the Product, which is an article here in the London Review of Books. And like I said, that's 17 August 2017. So another thing I did, I try to make sure I'm reading widely enough so that when a patron comes in or something, I can, whatever their area of interest is, I can at least be of some help. I'm not a youth librarian, but I still have to try to dip into that world a little bit, just hold the conversation. And there's a name that's come up for years, and it's an author I haven't read. So I went and knew I had worked through a little bit of what I said I was going to. I had some time. And I grabbed this book here by Avi, The True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle. And I just got a few pages to go, and I'll be finished. I'll finish that today. Yeah, let's see what we say here about it. It's a Richard Jackson book, and Orchard Books, New York. Decorations by Ruth E. Murray, and it's copyright 1990. And I picked it because, well, there's a female heroine, but I picked it, and it's set in the 19th century. I picked it because it's a sea story, and I love sea stories. And this one is really good. It's very well plotted, moves. You really get to care about the main character and the opposing character, and the sea and the ship. The nomenclature, terminology is, at least so far, spot on, which can get a little tricky sometimes. There is an appendix. Let me show you, so that if you don't know parts of a ship, it's pretty easy to follow along. It doesn't get any more detailed than that, although it could have if it wanted to. The author had intended. The whole breakdown of ship's time, like, 2 bells means second half hour, 3 bells mean third half, that type of thing. And how the watches work. 4-hour watch, that type of thing. So I'm just about done with this, and like I say, I'll finish it today. It's an absolutely marvelous book, and I'm glad I decided to pick up something by him. See, they have a picture of the author there. Hopefully you can see it. So, The True Confessions of Charlotte Doyle, a novel by Abby. So that's what's been going on. I don't know if I'll get much reading done this weekend. I'm going to Boston Comic Con. I'm going to bring the kids down there. Maybe if I have a chance and it works out, maybe I can shoot a little bit of video on my phone to try to add to a posting here. And that's about it. So thank you, BookTube.